Hey guys. Hey guys. Okay. Hi guys. So today we'll be taking a media query that's responsiveness. But before that, how was your day? And hope you enjoyed your Easter break and all. So my name is Omo Adeshui. I'm a front-end developer. You can reach me on Slack at emiposh. So if you have any question after today's lessons, feel free to send me a message. I'll be ready to respond. So like I said, we'll be taking responsiveness, that is media queries to be specific. So what is what is responsive web design? A website is responsive when it is able to fit in any screen size and perform as it is supposed to perform. So basically, a web application is responsive when it is able to fit in all screen sizes. Let's take Facebook, for instance. If you visit facebook.com on your phone, you get to see the content, the pictures, ads, and all. Basically, you are able to see everything on it, but this time around, it's going to look smaller, and some of the content may hide in. But if you now view it on, if you view facebook.com on your laptop or your iPad or tablet, you see a different orientation of it. You see that this time around it will look bigger and more visible and accessible. And the same thing too, you also see the same thing too when you view it on your phone, but this time around it's going to look smaller. So that's that about responsive web design. So what are media queries? So media queries are CSS commands that allow you to apply specific stylings to certain constraints, meaning a defined range or device, which could be the width of the device or the height or the resolution, basically. So what it means is whenever we want to design a responsive website, there are some conditions that we can set in our style sheet that could allow the device to understand which styles to apply based on the device size. So basically, media query is what builds up a responsive web design. And if you remember the example that I used, facebook.com, the interaction between you viewing it on the phone, viewing it on your laptop, your tablet, or your iPad, you get to see different ways of how it will display on each of the screen sizes. So I don't know if you have any question before we move to demonstrate what I just explained now. Or I just jumped right to it. Okay. So I actually picked a design, like a random design from, I don't know, I just searched randomly and I just chose this design since we are just taking the basics of responsive web design. And this is mine. Yeah. So this is it. And if I should inspect it now, this is how it is. Although for the navigation links, I'm going to talk about this later, but it should appear like this. Sorry. It should appear like this so that when you hover on it, the links will come down. But that will be a later discussion. So let me just jump in and explain how it's going to work. Yeah. So first of all, this is the desktop view. So this is the code here for index.html, which is this one right here. So I'm very sure you are pretty familiar with how to set up a markup and index.html in other lessons. So you have your doc type HTML, the language, you have the head where you put the metal, the title, the link. Then you have the body. You have the body tag that comprises of everything inside, like all the content. Sorry, all the content here. So yeah, this is the markup for the navigation links plus the logo. The logo is either you can use a name or a link, or you can also use an image, whichever way you want your logo to be, whichever way you want to put it. Then you now have the links, your home page, about page, gallery, and contacts. Yeah, then yeah, so there's our share because we are not, it's not going to another page, so it's just blank. But I'm sure you probably touched all that. I don't know, but so this is it. Then moving to the CSS now. So let me just change something here now. Let me just change something so that this one will remain like this. Okay, yeah. So moving to the CSS. Yeah, so I got my font size and font family from Google. Yeah, you can get font size from Google and other platforms. Just Google search it. And yeah, I'm using Rubik. So this is the styling. I made it flex on the desktop this time around. Now it's flex. So if you remember the markup, the this thing, the image, the logo and the links are inside one parent. Their children inside one parent, and the parent now, I gave it a display of flex, right? You can use grid if you want to use grid. Yeah, you can position it if you want to position it. But this time we are talking about responsiveness. We want it to be easier for us, so that whenever we view it on any screen size, it will still be perfect instead of wasting time to start making unnecessary adjustments. So I used flex, then justify content, space between. Yeah, space between it. Can see the logo is here on the left hand side and the links are on the right hand side. Then yeah, you can also use space around. Just play around with it though. You play around with it and whichever way you want it to be, whichever styling you want to give it. This is justify content, space around. If you notice the difference, there is space on the left hand side of the logo and also on the right hand side of the links. And believe it's not going to affect the mobile view. or the desktop or the tablet's view. It's not going to affect it because we are only styling for desktop for desktop or for your laptop now. So you could either give it space between or space around if you are using flex. You can also use grid, like I said, you can use grid. So I'm going to return it now to space between. Then I gave it a width of 100 view width, then padding, and I gave it a background of this. Remember, I took the template from here, yeah, just a random template. So moving on to the hero section, we have the heading. Yeah, I used H3 because I don't want it to be too bold. And if you remember when you took your HTML, the first lesson, we have 6 H tag, H1, H2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so I used H3 and then the paragraph here and the button. So the styling, remember for the links too, I also styled it. Yeah, I styled it, I gave it color, I removed the decoration. So if I'm going to like comment out this, you're going to see that there's like a line beneath each of the link. That's decorations, but I don't need a decoration there. If you want to put any decoration, you can put anything you want to put, but I don't need it. So that was why I removed it. Then for the over effect, you can give it any over effect you want. Yeah, you can give it any over effect you want. Since we are not really talking about designs now, we are just talking about responsiveness. So if you want the over to animate, instead of once I click on it, it just comes over. You can make it slow, zoom out, zoom in, whichever way you want to style in with. Well, this is just the basic one that I gave it. Then I was talking about, so yeah. So this is for the link, that's for the navigation side. This side, the logo and the link side. This is the desktop. This from the desktop. Yeah, this is for the desktop styling for the navigation bar. Yeah, this is everything about it. So whatever I do here is going to affect just for the desktop and laptop view. It's not going to affect the phone or tablet. So it's just going to affect just the laptop and desktop. So immediately after that, in from when you're building a website, you make sure that it's mobile first, mobile view. You make sure it's responsive and all that, mobile first. So to make it easier for me, immediately I styled for the desktop, for the navigation side. I went ahead to style for the phone, or yeah, a maximum width of 768, which means that anything within the range of 0 to 768, this is what it should do. This is what it should do, whether you shrink it or you don't shrink it or whatsoever. So anything within that range, this is what it should do. This is the styling it should do. So if you can see that I'm hovering on from 320 pixels, 375, 425, and 768. That is the maximum width I gave it. So this is the styling. I also gave it a flex and space between. Like I said, you can use grid, you can use anything you want to give it. But if you really want to make your work faster and neater, right, instead of having to start styling for different width, because while I started learning this too, I had a problem with responsiveness. I started giving it maximum width of 300, maximum width of 400. Like I don't know how to put it, but it was so frustrating. So, and the logo too, I changed the size. Remember I said you can use a text, you can use an image, you can use a link. And if you are using link, obviously you change the font size too. If you are using the image, you reduce the width and height of the image. And if you want to make it a circle, you know how you're going to put the border radius and all. So for the logo, I decreased the logo size because on the screen it's bigger, and obviously it has to fit in when it comes to tablets or the phone, no matter the size you're using. So I made the link appear colon. So the reason why I did not put display flex here again is because the parent already has the display of flex. So normally you could, it's not necessary because the parent already has. So you could add display flex or inherit. That's inherit whatever the parent has already, but there's no point of doing, there's no point of doing all that. So we don't really need it. So I gave it a flex direction of colon. Yeah. So when you hover on it, when you click on, okay, let me just say this is what I mean actually. Sorry. Yeah, this is what I mean. So that when you click on it, when you click on it, it will just come right beneath. Sorry, just ignore the nonsense I did there, but we are just taking the basics. So that when you click on this, the links will come like on top each other. That's flex direction colon. So if I give it a row now, so if I give it a row and I click, oh, sorry, it won't really affect this one because this is the CS. Sorry, yeah, many the CSS. What did I do? Okay, yeah. So if I should give, sorry, where is it now? Okay, yeah. So this is it. So imagine I gave this a row instead of colon. Yeah, instead of colon. Why is this? Okay, I think it's still basically the same thing. Sha. So I gave it a flex direction of colon. Yeah. Really? What am I typing nonsense? Sorry. So yeah, back to the index.html. Interesting. What did I do? Okay, yeah. So it's not the same thing. So for the flex direction, if I should set it to colon, this is how it will appear. Yeah, that's colon. So I'm going to return it back to, that's root. So I'll just return it back to colon now. Yeah, that's it. Then I gave it the anchor itself, the anchor links, I gave it a display of block. And that's that about the link. And you can see that on the screen, different screen sizes is just going to blend according to the screen size. Is going to blend according to it. So if you are using iPad, it's going to show you a different display. If you are using Apple, iPhone, let me not say Apple. If you are using iPhone, the size, like no matter what, it will just sync according to the size you've given it. And if you remember, I said media query is their CSS commands that allow you to apply specific stylings to certain constraints, to set any width you want to give it. Yeah. So we'll move on to this thing, the hero section. So this is how it displays on mobile and on screen to it. So the only difference is I reduced the sizes of this text. Yeah, I reduced the sizes because if you see it here now on the desktop, you see that it looks bolder and yeah, it looks bolder, but on phone it's smaller because I reduced the size. Now back to the other one. For this particular one, this is it, sub hero. This is the bag. I gave it a background and sized this, styled this box and positioned this. Yeah, this is it here now because I just picked a random design and just did this. So this is how it is on desktop or on laptop, and this is the styling. Where is it? Yeah, this is the style for it. Yeah. Then, like I said, so there's one thing in terms when you are trying to like do a mobile view, responsiveness to be specific. If you notice, there is a circle here now. right? But on the desk, on the mobile, I decided to remove it. I decided to remove the circle here. I could as well added it. So the only way the reason why you are not seeing it now is because I made the display to be none, which is this one. So if you inspect it, you wouldn't see it because I already gave it a display of none. Like I don't want that circle to be there. But when you're viewing it on laptop, I want it to be there. I want people to see it. So if you remember the example I gave that when you visit facebook.com on your phone, there are just some things you see on you see there, you see almost everything there, but some of them are hidden that you have to like go to another page to go and find them. But if you are viewing it on laptop or desktop, you would see everything like differently. So on desktop, I decided to leave the image. Yeah, there's no images, so I just use like a circle here. I just styled it and give it a width and height and give it border radius of 50%. But on the phone, I don't want to see that image there. I just want users to just read it and just do whatever they want to do. No need for paparazzi and all that. So I decided to remove the image and I gave it a display of none. But if I remove this display of none, it will definitely show and I'll have to like start adjusting it. But I don't need the image to show on desktop. I'm sorry, on mobile. So the next one is this one too for images. If you see the way it is here now, right, it's at the middle and this is the styling for it. Where is it? Sorry. Yep. Yeah, this is it. I gave it a display flex and space between. You could also use a flex wrap. Yeah, you could use flex wrap. You could use grid and you give it grid template colon and row. Like it all depends on how many boxes you are going to put or how many images you are going to put in this section or any section. So, but since we are just touching the basics, I just need 3 images and I just like give it space between and I styled it, put the image. This is actually an image. Then the name of the person that is supposed to be here and all. But now this is how it looks like on desktop or on laptop. But when you now move to the mobile, you see it looks different. So just imagine I comment out the okay, because I gave it a flex direction of colon, right? Assuming on the desktop, I used flex wrap and all that, I wouldn't have to like worry myself to give it a display of flex and flex direction, roll or colon on the mobile to automatically adjust itself to any screen size. But I did not use that. I used what I felt like using. So just imagine I commented out the flex direction for the mobile. When I load it now, you see, it looks terrible. What did I do now? It looks terrible and ugly. Yeah, let me put it that way. It looks terrible and ugly. Leaving it like this, like it doesn't look appeasing to the eye. Like, what are we doing? So I decided to give it flex direction of colon. So I'm going to uncomment it now. Yeah, so this is it. And for the image too, for the gallery section, the same thing. So the way it appeared on desktop is different from the way it appeared on laptop or appears on laptop, iPad, or tablets. Yeah, so these are 4 images too. Sorry, I'm coming. Okay. Yeah, so I use flex wrap for this one now. Yeah, for this side. So sometimes when you are building a responsive website, you don't just decide to use grid anyhow. You should have a reason to use grid. Okay, do I think grid is the appropriate thing for me to use it, or should I use flex, or should I use position? Because I had that issue too while learning responsive web design. So you can also use grid for this particular section here, this gallery section. You can use grid but so you should have the reason for using it. So for here now, I use the flex wrap and automatically it just blends to whatever screen size it is. Anyone, it will just fit in, even if it's going to be a iPad or tablet, it will fit in. Then we have the contact section, which is the last one. These are forms. You fill in your name, whatever name it is, then your email address, then message and all, then you send it. Oh, sorry, we are not doing that. So it looks very nice on desktop, and like even if you view it on laptop, I'm using laptop, so this is how it looks on laptop. So if you are viewing it on desktop, it's still going to adjust to it and look very nice. And if you view it on your phone or tablet, it's going to give a different interaction, yeah, or orientation. So this is how it looks on the phone. Yeah, this is how it looks. It looks smaller and it fits according to the screen size, whatever screen size it is. So back to these links here. Back to this link. I'm going to give it as a task. Yes, I'll give it as a task for you all to like try it out. This is what I expect. Let me see. Sorry. What am I typing rubbish today? Anyway. So this is what I okay. Yeah. So is you are going to give it like you are going to put it inside an hamburger. You can get the hamburger icon from Font Awesome, Icons 8, or you can use an image. You can use hamburger itself, JavaScript to help you put it inside, and also CSS to help. You have to like for these links now, you have to like put a display of none inside so that it will not like disturb the hamburger that you're going to put. So I'm going to leave this as a task for us. And if you still don't know how you are going to go about it, you can still just feel free to send me a message at Posh on Slack. Feel free, I'll put you through. But I just want you to like try to like give it a try. So basically, that is all about media queries. It's not easy. I won't say it's simple, but it's also simple. The more you practice, the more you understand how it works. Practice makes perfect. It's not easy. It wasn't easy for me too. And sometimes I won't lie, when I started, I could write like two markups, like copy all this now, copy everything, then comment it out and write desktop. I can just write um desktop markup, then paste everything all over again, and go to style.css and start styling nonsense again. So it's very, very difficult for me. Then I have to like use two markup for the responsiveness. So I won't say it's easy, yeah, but the more you practice, the more you make research. I can't teach you everything. Nobody can teach you everything. There are also some things that I might have omitted from everything I've said here. In fact, so many things, but it is left for you to make research. And when you make research, you still don't understand, feel free to message any front-end mentor. Yeah, message them and they'll put you through. But basically, everything still lies in your hand. So I'm going to leave this one as a task for us to do. And if you don't understand, please feel free at any push on Slack. So that would be all. I don't know if you have Shay. I don't know if you have any question to ask. No. Shay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the questions for you.
Okay.
Okay, so look at Zoom chats. I'll be pasting it there.
Oh, I'm coming. Sorry. How will I go back to this? Okay, I'm coming. Mm. Okay, so the first question, why must we do mobile view first? Okay, so for that, it depends on the project you are working on and how fast your client or your boss needs it. And most of the time, people don't carry laptops up and down to view your page to buy something or so. People, most of we are youths, even without being youths, people use their phone more, so they want to view it on your phone first. Let me see how it looks, let me quickly order this thing online. So people don't carry laptops up and down, so we just have to like make sure it's mobile view first. And like I said, you can also, if the project is not too wide, you can be styling for the desktop or the laptop and also do for the mobile, but basically mobile first. Everybody carries their phone up and down. Nobody carries laptop. Even if you carry laptop, you can't be in a public bus and bring out your laptop and start searching for something. So the next one, does this mean max with 768 works for all screen size and less? No, no. You can use, just like I said, play around with it. You can use minimum width of maybe 300 to 400, maximum width of 800 to, just play around with it. I just decided to use the max width of 768 pixels. Play around with it. Have fun. Nobody's going to make mistakes. I've made that mistake. Use anything you want to use, play around, and with time you know the right thing to use for whatever project you are working on. And the next one, and the remaining code works for screen sizes about 768. I don't understand the last question, Che. I don't understand. And the remaining code works for screen sizes about 768 pixels. Okay, I think I answered that. So basically that is it. Just play around with it. Play around with it. So my Slack username at emiposh, EMMYPUCH, emiposh. Yeah, EMMPUCH at emiposh. If you have any questions, just feel free to message me on Slack. I would always reply. And if I don't reply in ASAP, can message any mentor, front end mentor too. So just play around with it. It's not a big deal. It's not something to be scared of. I've passed through it. Ask questions. Use minimum width. Use maximum width of any screen size you want to use. Use your flex box. Use your grid. Yeah, and always have reasons why you are using grid or flex box. Don't just use it like that. Have a reason for using it. Yeah, I think that's for the questions. Yeah. Actually, take control. So please, for the tax, please don't forget for the tax, please. I don't know how I'm going to. Okay, I would have to like share that. I don't think I want to do that, but I'll just paste it on dashboard or talk to Tominsin Lalude and just give it. It's not necessarily you use the design I used. You can just go online, search for any random design, and all I need is just for you to put the link inside a menu or hamburger. Yes, you can get the icon from Font Awesome. You can get it from Icons 8. Just search for it. You can also use an image. You can use your picture. You can use anything. Yeah, JavaScript will just be the one to hide everything and use CSS, just few lines of code and all. So that is all. I'll be so interesting. So that's all, guys. Take care.